bring our cats up here.
I should have called over here.
All right, we all have, does everybody have a packet?
Oh, I don't have one.
Just make sure we get taken care of. Oh, no, I will. Now he's washing his hands of it.
All right, are we on?
Yep, right here.
All right, hello, everybody. Thank you for coming to this special meeting of the Historic Preservation Commission for November 1st, 2017. It's 4:25 right now, and my chairperson, Alderman Mark Stoyer, I am here. Dave Boyce
Here.
is here. Susan Lee
Here,
is here. Dennis Doucette
Here.
is here. Patty Olson, did she call? Anyway, haven't heard from Patty, but Roger Retzlaff just sent a resignation letter. He's moving with his wife down in Milwaukee. And we will definitely talk a little much about him. He was an integral part of this commission and will be missed. All right, so we have a quorum. Approval of the agenda. We've got new business design reviews. Number one is consideration with possible action on a building permit application for porch repairs at 1222 South Monroe Avenue. We have Mr. Kevin King from the city who is here to represent. Thank you, Kevin.
You're welcome.
So,
So what we have is, this home is under orders by,
pardon me, we have to accept the agenda? I didn't know that.
okay, let's do that. Well, do we have an
So
motion?
moved.
So moved, do we have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Thank you.
all right.
Okay, go ahead.
So, the home that you're looking at 1222 South Monroe has orders from the inspection department and has had orders for the last couple of years to repair the damaged porches and a number of other things on the house. And the homeowner is getting a loan from the home improvement loan program that's run upstairs on the 6th floor. We were able to do enough to satisfy the inspection department and find a funding source that doesn't require us to repair the whole house, because we can't afford that. And
Yeah.
it's a lot to do, but what we are doing is we are repairing the porches, and what you are concerned about is the porches. The soffit and fascia is gonna get covered with aluminum, and the porches are going to be repaired in a replica manner as they are. So the pictures that you see is gonna be the exact replica, and that's what I wrote in my specs, is that the contractor repair the porches exactly as they were built, replacing all the design features that they
Does
have.
that, Kevin, I'm looking at the roof line, and it looks like the gutter is bent right there.
Yes,
That's not part of this project, I presume.
I believe there's gutters, that gutter is going to be repaired.
Okay, good, because I was just wondering if things would drip onto
Well, the roof is going to be repaired as well. That's the source of the problem that's causing the rot on either of these porches. I don't know if you can see it on your black and white photos, but if you look at this photo in between some of the porticos, I think they're called, Jason, is that what they're called?
Porticos?
These features that are overhanging the porch there and hold the overhang.
Right.
You can see some pieces that are hanging down. There's rot going on from the top
Okay.
down, and it's causing damage to the structure. And that's the front porch. The side porch, it's pretty obvious in
You can
these,
see that.
in these photos that you can see
Right.
the rot and the damage and the extent of the damage. Now, this home apparently was built as a two-family. I always thought it was one, but apparently it was built as a two.
What year was it built? Any idea?
Or at least it's been a two since this owner has owned it.
Built in 1888.
Yeah, so maybe it wasn't a two, it looks like that dormer was an add-on on the top, if you look at that back photo. But they've used it as a two since they've owned it.
So is it,
So there's two apartments there, but the upper is occupied by the woman's son, who got some mental health issues. And it isn't really a usable kitchen. I mean, it's
It is
really
or
a
isn't?
walkable residence, there's so much stuff inside there.
well, that's another issue that we can't really deal with.
Right, but, you know, so my attempt here is to repair the porches and allow this woman to
Did
stay
you,
in her house without tearing it down. That would
okay.
be the other option.
All right, did you talk to Alderman Galvin on this at all?
I have not talked to Alderman.
Because I've talked to him briefly about this, and, of course, this house, it's the first one when you come into Green Bay on the left-hand side going north on Monroe, and so it is very visible, and it's been a bit of an eyesore for time. I appreciate, the city stepping up on this. Jason, I don't know, or if anybody else has any other comments to make
No.
on this?
I think the repairs are
I mean, it's, but as far as, there was talk, because there was a raise or repair order, correct?
Right,
So, and then what's the time frame on that? Pretty soon, I suppose.
Well, it's still open.
Yeah.
So if these repairs don't get accomplished, then, in one way or the other, then it will come down.
So
We've got an open loan, it's gonna go forward one way or
Okay.
the other, however you recommend.
Is there a cost on this, or is that,
The porches,
Yeah.
well, I don't have my,
not the,
my bids with me, but
Okay.
yes, there's a cost. I mean, there's, between the two porches, I think that the cost is about $9,000 to repair the property.
so that plus the roof you're talking about?
A portion of the roof interior, there's some damaged plaster from leaking, so that's being redone.
So
So
remedial-
outside door, some
remedial
window
things.
replaces,
Okay.
replacement windows
All right.
that are going to be slid in the existing openings, and then there's a plaster repair that needs to be done on the interior.
Well, I'm just looking at,
And the porch railing, or not the porch railing.
now that siding's been there, that's fairly, well, it's old, but not, what is that? Is it just,
That's at slate or concrete siding. and
Concrete
it's
siding.
asbestos in it.
Slate is supposed
This is basically how the house looked when the district was created in 1979 and 80.
okay.
So, as is was deemed contributing. If we just keep
Just-
it going like that, then it should stay the same.
Well, I'm thankful, like, again, that the city is stepping up for this because, it really, there wasn't a whole lot more. I mean, it wouldn't have stood, and of course, those folks would have had to move too.
Well, quite honestly, it'd be a shame to tear it down.
Yeah.
Because it has
Well-
redeeming values.
Right. And who's to say that over time that maybe more work or effort will be put into it, hopefully, down the road, that,
We're hoping that someone will buy
Some
it
step up,
eventually and
right.
step up, and, because it's right on the recreation trail, so it's very
Right, very-
attractive property.
well, does anybody else have any comments?
Pretty cut and dry.
to, looks good.
Okay, do I entertain a motion?
Is there any place where there's some volunteers that might volunteer to spiff it up? Like a voluntary project?
Well, we're gonna cover most of the exterior stuff with our contractors. So, that would be, I
I'm just
think the
wondering-
rest of the stuff would be allowing the homeowner, or the homeowner allowing volunteers to come in the house and clean it out.
What-
Which would cause a lot of stress on the son, who is like collector of stuff.
Yeah, I'm not sure I'd go there.
Yeah, I don't know, that could be
I
a,
just think about the liability issues
Yeah.
with that.
Yeah.
If it was for the exterior, I would agree with you.
yeah, that's a cable show waiting to happen. So, could we talk, I'm just wondering, talk to the Astor Neighborhood Association about this? I mean, they're probably aware of it, that this is being done, but is there anything else, Jason, that you have, like I said, we're just trying to keep the building afloat, if you will.
Yeah, we're not trying to flip it back to the way it was when it was built or anything. We're just trying to keep it going forward so that somebody else can come along in years ahead and
Yeah,
do what's for.
okay, well, I'm good with that, so. Any other comments? Otherwise, I would entertain a motion.
Motion to approve the repair.
Okay, we have, that's Suzette.
Second,
Second by Susan Lee. Any other discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Thank you, Mr. King.
Thank you very much.
All right.
Thanks for your time, everyone.
Well, thank you
Just
for your
this
time.
one item. I
Yeah,
appreciate that very much, to tell you the
well,
truth, 'cause
it's important.
we're under the gun, spending gun here, so we had
Yeah.
to sneak in here, so I appreciate that.
These special meetings are our favorite ones. because
Yeah.
they're short and sweet.
Well, that's
Yeah.
good.
Yes,
The end thing.
all right. Thanks, Kevin. All right, next we got
Thank you.
number 2, consideration with possible action for siding at 701 South Adams Street. The person is not here, Thomas Delsart. I did talk to him on the phone, and he was kind of up in arms a bit. He didn't feel that he says, why do I have to go in front of you folks and this and that? And I said, well, you're in the historic district, and kind of gave him the lowdown that way. He said he already bought siding for his building, and, do we have a picture of it?
Pictures, we have a letter from Mr. Delsart. And I have this little chip of vinyl siding.
All right. Well, I told him to contact, Stephanie or the office to just talk about getting on here. What's your first reaction? Jason, you mentioned something about it. He told me that he already purchased the siding and that if he had to return it, it would be a 25% loss for him.
I don't
So it's kind of jumped the gun.
really what the siding looks like, as far as the profile dimensions are concerned. And I did know that he'd already bought the stuff, but the current siding is a replacement, so there's no concern there. The historic bits about this house are just the overall form, and the actual historic material that remains is concentrated on the front porch.
Okay,
So there's no indication that any of that's going to be altered.
okay.
So in general, I recommend approval of this, including the replacement windows, but I had anticipated learning a little bit more about what the siding was going to look like.
Right, and I know he's waiting to do this with the weather changing and such. He mentioned that his family's been in town for many, many years. They have a very, strong interest in history. I mean, he was trying, I think he just was kind of upset that he would have to go in front of us. He wasn't aware of that. I said, we're advisory at this time. We hope to change that. So I was hoping he'd be here. But I'm leaning toward what Jason has said, and I don't know if anybody else has any comments,
It's not
otherwise.
the original siding, so I would lean towards the same as Jason said too.
Yeah.
Is this the
David?
original
Yeah,
color?
it's not.
Is that what, did you have it?
Does that blend in with the rest of the neighborhood, or is that like
Is that what it is?
That's the sample that the owner had sent.
Had it sent?
It's currently white-ish.
Whitish? Okay. Well, it's kind of a charcoal gray, so it's not,
But I think the letter said they keep the white corner boards,
okay.
so you might be actually looking more at a two-tone thing now.
It'd be two-tone then, with the white porches and that,
White porch, white window casings,
and then,
white corners.
Right corners.
It might even look nicer.
yeah, it might.
Yeah.
There might be some contrast there.
I would think the
Yeah.
same thing,
Okay.
contrast.
All right,
Sounds good.
so, all right, if there's any other discussion, otherwise I'd entertain a motion.
Motion to approve, the new siding?
Okay, second by Dave Boyce. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, all opposed? Thank you very much. Next meeting date is November 13th, 2017. Thank you for coming. Make a motion to, what's the motion?
Motion to adjourn?
Yes, that's it. Do we have a second?
Second.
All in favor? Aye, all opposed?
Thank God I'm exhausted.